They tell them a curious story. I don't believe it is true, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. Once when the good Saint Peter lived in the world below, and walked about it preaching just as he did, you know. He came to the door of a cottage in traveling round the earth, where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. And being faint with the fasting, for the day was almost done, he asked her from a store of cakes to give him a single one. So she made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. Therefore she needed another and still a smaller one. But it looked and she turned it over as large as the first had done. Then she took a tiny scrap of dough and rolled it flat, and baked it thin as a wafer, but she couldn't part with that. For she said, my cakes that seem too small when I eat of them myself are yet too large to give away, so she put them on the shelf. Then good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. And he said, you are far too selfish to dwell in a human form, to have both food and shelter and fire to keep you warm. No, you shall build as the birds do, and shall get your scanty food by boring all day in the hard dry wood. Then up she went through the chimney, they were speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed to a bird. She had a scarlet cup on her head, and that was left the same. But all the rest of clothes were burnt and black as the coal in the flame. And every country schoolboy has seen her in the wood, where she lives in the trees till this very day, boring and boring for food.